Hey Capricorn, in today's reading we're going to take a look and see what your cards are predicting for you for the upcoming month. The overall energy that crowns your reading is the Devil card, and the Devil is your card, right? It's ruled by Capricorn. The energy here, the card represents desire, it represents excess, ambition, temptation, power, manipulation, inner demons, enslavement. Okay, so it does represent the darker side of the individual self, rather. I feel like there might just be a need for you this month to focus on what is blocking you in some ways in your life, or what is blocking you from moving forward, like moving ahead in your life, what is blocking you from moving forward with a romantic energy, maybe even moving on from a romantic energy. Because of the imagery here, we see a naked Adam and Eve, and they're attached to each other. In fact, they're enslaved to one another. But if you take a look at the chains, right, the way that in which they're bound to one another, those chains hang rather loosely around their neck. That to me is a really strong indication right there that this is like self-voluntary, right? They're sort of chained to each other. What you need to do is you need to break, this month I think the focus is to break the chains here of dependency. So if you're really glued to something or someone, like in a really unhealthy way, right? Because the Devil also speaks about codependency and co-reliant, being really co-reliant. So if you're really intoxicated, or if you're really consumed, if you're really addicted to something that is not serving you positively, that might be holding you back, or something that you're essentially giving your power to, it's so important that you need to figure out whatever it is. And some of you have already got it figured out, well, at least that part. You just have to figure out how to break those chains of dependency towards this thing, because it is something that's blocking you. And for instance, it could be a person, okay? It could be, the Devil could also represent an ex, of course, but it could be a person that you feel very, like, you almost feel like this person has a very addictive energy, a very addictive quality, and you know that they're no good for you, right? You know that there's not a future with this person, or you know that this person might be toxic, or you're toxic for one another, but you can't help that addiction. You can't help the fact that you're so drawn and you're so magnetically attracted to this person. It could also be some substances, okay, that you might be abusing. So it could be like alcohol, or it could be like drugs. It could be something like sugar as well. Sugar can be very addictive, and of course it can be unhealthy. I mean, too much of anything can make you become an addict. But your job is to figure out what it is that you're really like dependent on, and how it's blocking you, because there are certain blockages, okay? And it's something that I feel like you're giving it power. It doesn't have power over you, but you're allowing and you're giving this power, okay? There could also be someone around you, okay? Be careful, but there could be someone around you, or something in your life, rather. Again, it could be a person, or it could be a substance that is acting like the Devil, and this is something that is blocking you from moving forward in your romantic life, in your professional life, in your career as well. So it could also represent, because the Devil does represent fears and anxieties, it could be that you have to break away those chains of enslavement, and you have to move yourself away from any fears or anxieties that are hindering you, okay? It could be like old habits as well, habits that you are doing and you're carrying out of fear. So something that isn't good for you, okay? Something that feels very destructive, unhealthy and destructive. And you might already know what this is, you just don't know how to move away from it, right? Or you have to figure out, what it is that's blocking you, because there are certain blockages here. Okay, for others of you, if you are connected to something, like if you're connected to someone, or if you're connected to something right now, I feel like whatever this is, it's because the Devil never does love, he does lust, okay? So I feel like this thing is, especially if it's a relationship that is destructive, or that isn't healthy, I think this thing is only like, it's running on lust. And I think there's you know, you might be involved with a partner who is very controlling and is abusive, or there's way too much bindings here, and you don't feel free. You feel like you feel trapped, right? You feel like a slave here. For others of you, be careful, because it could warn you, like when the devil shows up, it could warn you of health risks as well. And again, I think those are relating to something that you're doing or you're eating that are destructive and not healthy. So don't ever do it. You know, if you give in to any kind of indulgence, like as I said, too much of anything can make you become an addict, right? If you give in to too much indulgence, you know, this includes like overeating, eating too much, drinking too much, just, you know, any unsafe practices here, like taking drugs. This is a card of addiction. It's a card of vices, and it's cautioning some of you, not all of you, okay? But you know who you are. It's just cautioning you to avoid like spending too much time thinking about those things, or even indulging in those kind of things, okay? There's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of like fire in your energy, and I think this month there's a lot of motivation, there's a lot of discipline, and I think there's a lot of like enthusiasm, a lot of like action. It's quite an action orientated energy, Capricorn. A lot of movement. There's a lot of things that I feel like are going to be happening for you, but there's also a lot of emotionally scattered energy, so your emotions might be running a little rampant all over the place. With the High Priestess energy, she represents knowledge, intuition, you know, the subconscious mind. She's a very strong feminine energy, and I think that, you know, this is all about trusting your intuition. And I think this month it's so important that you lean into your intuition, because there is going to be some choices or decisions that you're going to have to make, and for some of you, you might be stuck, you might be really torn. There may be an important choice or a decision that you're going to have to make, or even like a sacrifice, but it feels like you might be a little bit uncertain, and you might be unsure, and you might be looking to external forces to help you make that choice or to help you make that decision. But you have to understand that, you know, everything that you need, like all the information and all the resources that you need, is actually already within you. It's not outside of you. So the High Priestess shows up because, you know, she's this symbol of you trusting your intuition. Your intuition and your subconscious mind. The other thing is, sometimes information only becomes available to us when we're ready to like understand it, when we're ready to, you know, look beyond the material realm. So there may be something that is being made available to you, some sort of information, but because she's connected to the divine here, the divine feminine, I feel like this is coming from a cosmic energy. So, and it could come in the form of like synchronicities, or fated synchronistic events, stuff like that. It could also be like dreams, or like dreamlike states, or premonitions. So the universe might be trying to communicate or connect with you in a very powerful way that is very unique to you and to your situation, right? And it might be having messages, having conversations with you. And I think that whereas before you might have seen those, might be reoccurring number patterns, it might be reoccurring, you know, synchronistic symbols, but I think now you're really ready to, you know, interpret and have that conversation back with the universe. I feel like you're also a lot more, like your awareness here is being heightened this month, and you're just so much more onto things. You might potentially, there could be a connecting energy around you who is keeping information or is keeping secrets from you. And I think that there's just something about you, like it's that heightened awareness where you're so much more tuned in, and you might even call this person out, or you might find out that this person has been lying or has been deceptive all along. You might not necessarily respond to it too strongly, but I think it's just going to confirm something here that happens like this month, or something that comes to light is just going to confirm your intuition about a certain person or about a certain situation. The Two of Wands, I feel like there is something here where, because this is all about, you know, putting plans into action. And I think there is some sort of long-term goal, or a long-term like aspiration that I feel like you're finally ready to take action. Because, you know, following on from that, you've got the Page of Wands, and he's very energetic, he's very enthusiastic, he's very keen, he's very passionate. And I think that you're ready this month. You're finally ready to start making plans. Okay, even if you don't necessarily feel like it here, Capricorn, I feel like you're finally ready to you know, start something. And it's something that you've been wanting, and it's something that you've been passionate about. See, the thing is, time is a funny thing, because a lot of time, you know, people, we wait for the right time, we wait for the right circumstances, we just wait for everything to line up, you know, the right time, the right circumstances, the right moment, you know, and whatnot. But I don't know that there is the right time, right? I just feel like you have to make the time right for you. So it just feels like you're ready, even if you don't necessarily feel like you're ready. If not now, then when? That kind of energy. And trust me, I feel like the universe thinks that you're ready. The cards seem to think you're ready. I think you're ready. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think you're ready. The cards, you know, seem to indicate it very strongly. And because he's got, I mean, both, you've got the Page of Pentacles as well. And I think you're, you know, you're a student of curiosity. I think there's something here you're ready to start. Look, it could be like you're ready to start doing research on, like, for some of you, because the Page of Wands is such a nomadic energy, maybe you're ready to start doing research on a travel trip, or you're ready to try to, you know, put your itinerary together. For others of you, you could be ready to, you could be ready to start a new life, or like, you know, it feels like you're relocating. You might be looking at relocating to a different city, like a different state, a different part of town, or a different country altogether. Okay, you might be looking to study abroad or travel abroad. Two of Wands reminds us that the world is literally in your hands. Okay, and just, you know, he's got that beautiful scenery in front of him, that beautiful horizon. And I just feel like, notice how he's looking out. It's almost like the horizon, you know, if this were a moving image, it's almost like the horizon would just expand accordingly. So it's like the world is in your hands. You can be and you can do whatever it is that you want. But the thing about the Two of Wands, and especially because, you know, you've got the Page of Wands after, the thing about that is that in the Two of Wands, the you know, he stands there, and even though he's looking outwards, he's not necessarily, he's stationed, right? He's not moving, and it doesn't look like he's about to, like, it doesn't look like he's in a moving position. He's stationed safely in, you know, in this castle, in his castle walls. So yes, you know, he's very much in the planning phase, and, you know, he wants action, he wants adventure, and, you know, he's got some plans, some exciting plans, but he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. It feels like, and notice how the wands, yeah, he's holding one wand, but the other wand, if you take a look at it, the one on the right, that's sort of fixed. That's sort of fixed to the castle wall. So that tells me that he's kind of, even though he's got these plans and there's a yearning or there's a longing for something, he's not ready, okay? Or he's scared, he's reluctant to venture out, to push himself outside of the comfort zone. But when you've got the Page of Wands, I mean, even if you look at his body posture, like, look at his posture, you know, he's so confident, he's so enthusiastic, he's so energetic, and it feels like, you know, notice the placement of his legs. He's got one step forward, and even notice the scenery that he surrounds himself with. It feels like he's in the middle of his adventure. So I feel like this month there's a strong message for you to finally start working on, or finally start putting action towards some of your plans, or at the very least finally start, you know, planning something. Because you've got the Seven of Cups too, the Seven of Cups here. It's a reminder that, you know, yeah, you have a lot of wishes and you have a lot of goals, but if you don't start acting on those wishes and those goals, that's just what they'll forever be, a wish or a goal. A wish is just a wish until you start, you know, bringing it into your reality, manifesting it. Right? And a goal is just a goal until you start working towards it. And You know, your cards indicate very strongly that you've got that energy of, like, you've got that fire in your belly, you've got that curiosity, you've got that, you know, adventure, that thirst and that lust for adventure, that wanderlust, that, you know, wanting to move somewhere different, wanting to travel somewhere different, wanting to go somewhere different, wanting to try something different, something new, something fun, something, you know, venture out. Don't be scared, because especially with the devil's energy, right? And this is the energy that crowns your reading, and it's your card here. Don't let fear, or don't let the fear of failure be the thing that's, you know, holding you back. Because I think that's what's, for some of you, I think you've got a lot of like exciting plans and you've got a lot of ambition and there's success here in the cards, right? But what's holding you back is that fear of moving outside of your comfort zone, that fear of, okay, what if something doesn't work out? Yeah, all right, but what if it does? Like, how exciting. So, you know, don't let fear of failure, or don't let your fears be the thing that holds you back, because, you know, if it does, you choose to give it power. But there's so much adventure. I feel like even this month, there's just, you potentially could start planning something, and then, you know, if you have travels, you'll have to put together, you know, an itinerary, purchase tickets, all of that. But see how, you know, that was a goal or that was a wish, and now you're finally taking the action towards it. You're cementing it. So I feel like this is what the focus for a lot of you is going to be this month. And, you know, with the Queen of Wands energy, I think that I think you're ready. The cards seem to think you're ready. And I think you've got this great vibration that you're putting out. Like, you're excited, you're enthusiastic, you've got a fire in your belly, and because of this vibration you're putting out, you're attracting more of the same back to you. The Seven of Cups, there is a scattered energy. You know, you might be feeling all sorts of emotions. You might be going on an emotional roller coaster this month, and that's okay. You're only human, right? Be kind to yourself. Some days are going to be like that, so don't be too hard to yourself. The other thing is, this month marks the like, I feel like there's an important choice or a decision that you're going to have to make. To me, that choice or decision comes down to essentially fear. Whether you're going to let your fear hold you back, or whether you're going to let that fear, use that fear and let it motivate you to make a choice or a decision. Okay, because there is some sort of choice or decision that you'll have to make, and not every choice or decision that you're going to make is good for you. Okay, and also don't forget that when you commit to a choice or a decision, you're also committing to the consequences, and some of the consequences of these choices or decisions might be a little bit tricky or might not necessarily serve you positively. It's so important, yeah, don't it's so important that when you do make a choice or decision, you're not operating in an energy of fear. Okay. Alright, I will leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Please show your support to the channel by subscribing. Hit that subscribe button, guys. It helps the channel to grow, and by liking, sharing, or commenting. Bye.